Be down right after.
Right after what, Big Time?
Well, it doesn't say. It just says I'll be down right after. Right after. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe it means right after we tell the rooters about that super-duper Rudy Silvercup Bread.
Oh, let's not tell about Silvercup Bread, Big Time. Let's sing about it.
All righty. Silvercup.
Try it, please.
How it gives you energy. Made with milk.
Eat it up.
Better bread by Silvercup.
Yum, 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 yum.
Silvercup.
I serve Silvercup exclusively in my roadside restaurant, Rooters, because it makes my sandwiches extra special tasty.
Right, Rudy. You know, only Silvercup gives sandwiches that good kitchen fresh flavor. Because Silvercup is made with rich whole milk with all the cream left in.
Oh, that makes Silvercup better bread, Rooters. Gives it a finer taste and finer flavor.
Try it for yourself and see. Now tell Mom to make your sandwiches with Silvercup bread, too. You know, even if you're a fussy eater, you'll go for the fresh, flavorful goodness of Silvercup bread. It's super-duper Rudy.
Right-a-Rudy, Rooters. Silvercup bread is a real rootin' taste treat, and it'll make your favorite sandwiches taste swell-a-Rudy.
Oh, that is great bread.
Uh-oh, Big Top. Oh, something is flying this way.
And this was a commercial that was done on the Rudy Kazootie show for Silvercup Bread. I watched a 15-minute episode of it. On weekdays, it was on for 15 minutes. And they did 3 commercials. All the commercials were done by them for Silvercup Bread. And thought I'd look up a little bit of history on Silvercup Bread because I had never heard of it. Silvercup came from Detroit, and for generations, people living in Detroit, the products of Gordon and Pagel were the best thing before bread became sliced. 1900, James C. Gordon and William M. Pagel entered a partnership, setting up a shop at Shane and Hendrick Street. Would be go on to be Detroit's most prolific bakery, pumping out 150,000 loaves a day from this factory. Things started out for the 2 entrepreneurs with only 2 men working in the baking department, Gordon and Pagel themselves serving as their own salesmen, delivering bread to stores. By 1907, the business, like their loaves, were steadily rising and their factory expanding. Gordon and Pagel soon found themselves literally and figuratively rolling in dough. Rapid growth of their business led to the company's incorporation on July 16, 1907, with a capital stock of $75,000, worth more than $2 million today. Gordon became its president and Pagel its secretary and treasurer. At that point, the plant was pumping out 50,000 2-pound loaves of bread every day and employed about 100 men. The company sold only warehouse to stores in Detroit and surrounding suburbs. Later on, became the Gordon Baking Company, and 1926, major changes. That's when the company was renamed to that. Not clear how Pagel ended up out of the firm, whether it was at that time or earlier. The company had already expanded from Detroit into Chicago, and the new product was about to see its reach expand even further. Silvercup Baking Company first sold Silvercup in Detroit on May 11, 1927, taking out ads in local newspapers, announcing its arrival and boasting that it was better than the best of old-fashioned breads, finer than the finest of modern private brands. Silvercup became extremely popular in New York, where the Gordon Baking Company built an enormous 500,000 square foot plant in Long Island in 1929, devoted largely to producing the brand. November 2nd, 1970, quarter of the Silvercup Cup plant in Detroit to be shut down. Its 275 employees were notified by telegram during the weekend and told not to report for work the following Monday. News reports at the time said that part of the restructuring deal, the New York plant was allowed to keep running at the cost of sacrificing the Detroit operations. Not clear, based on our research so far, whether the plant later reopened under another company or closed for good at the time, though news reports on the facility's closure did say that they were interested in buyers. It is unclear when the Detroit plant was demolished. I was reading after Gordon died on March 5th, 1945. He had established a foundation that took control of most of the company's stock upon his death, but the organization sold its interest in the baking company in 1964, no longer having any affiliation to Gordon. The bakery's name was changed to Silvercup Bakers Incorporated. In 1968, the company's owner, Harold D. Gottfried, died, and the firm soon spiraled into Chapter 11 receivership. So the baking equipment, delivery vehicles, and other assets from the Detroit plant were liquidated at auction on January 21st, 1971. Long Island plant continued producing the brand until 1974, when it closed during a workers' strike and never reopened. The facility still survives today, but makes something other than bread. In 1983, it became known as Silvercup Studios, honoring the building's history. It's one of the largest film and television production facilities in New York. Silvercup continued to be baked elsewhere and sold in stores in Detroit until the 1990s. So, kind of interesting story on Silvercup bread. And here is an image of the Silvercup Studios. And I was reading parts of what I found on the internet, excerpts on the history of Silvercup bread from various websites. And like I said, my show is about preserving history, especially obscure aspects of history. And as always, like, subscribe, share, and thanks for watching.